The media myth of dogs, cultural glorification and its societal consequences. Introduction. Modern media plays a powerful role in shaping cultural norms and emotional values. Few subjects have benefited more from sustained, uncritical glorification than the domestic dog. Across decades of film, television, advertising, and literature, dogs have been portrayed as loyal, intelligent, selfless, and essential members of the family. This one-sided representation has not only distorted public perception, but also influenced policy, tolerance of harm, and emotional biases in ways that prioritize the well-being of dogs over that of vulnerable humans. This essay explores the cultural narrative of the hero dog, examines its social and ethical consequences, and proposes interventions to foster a more accurate understanding of the impact of dogs upon society. 1. The constructed myth of the hero dog. From Lassie to Marley and Me to Homeward Bound, the media has consistently portrayed dogs as moral exemplars, rescuers, protectors, empaths, and family saviors. Dogs are rarely shown to be neutral, and even more rarely as dangerous, unsanitary, or harmful. Instead, they are anthropomorphized into beings of pure devotion, smarter than other animals, kinder than most people, and more loyal than human partners. These portrayals are not confined to fiction. Commercials routinely show dogs helping children with disabilities, comforting grieving owners, or acting as emotional healers. Reality shows and viral videos further reinforce the idea that dogs possess supernatural intuition and are vital for emotional well-being. 2. The absence of nuance. The cultural depiction of dogs leaves little room for complexity. Rarely do popular films or shows address dog aggression or unpredictability, zoonotic disease transmission, environmental harm, excessive resource consumption, diminished social cohesion. More importantly, those who express dislike or skepticism toward dogs are often cast as villains, humorless bureaucrats, or psychologically damaged individuals. Examples include Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Her cartoonish evil is defined by her desire to harm dogs. Yosef Tarasov from John Wick. His puppy-killing act catalyzes righteous vengeance. Henry from The Good Son. His cruelty to a dog is cinematic shorthand for moral depravity. Even comedic shows like Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm, which briefly allow protagonists to dislike dogs, present that aversion as quirky or socially deviant. Moreover, popular culture has perpetuated the myth that dogs possess a supernatural ability to sense evil or detect moral character. This trope not only lacks scientific foundation, but dangerously reinforces emotional bias. Those whom a dog dislikes are cast as suspicious or morally deficient. This false intuition is often used to justify exclusion, discrimination, or mistreatment of individuals, particularly those who are fearful of or allergic to dogs. 3. Media influence on public policy and emotional bias. This one-dimensional narrative has profound real-world consequences. Policy distortion. Laws and regulations often protect dogs more vigorously than they protect humans in similar contexts. Dangerous dog breeds, recurring bite offenders, or unsanitary ownership practices are frequently tolerated due to emotional pushback. Public tolerance for harm. Dog-inflicted injuries, infections, and fatalities are downplayed. Victims, especially children, are often blamed for provoking attacks, while aggressive dogs are described as surprised or playful. Emotional overinvestment. Resources are diverted to canine luxury and healthcare, even as human needs remain unmet. Advocacy on behalf of dogs often receives greater attention than issues like homelessness, food insecurity, or child neglect. 4. Cultural double standards and the fictional hero's code. Fictional villains are often marked by cruelty to dogs. But how often are heroes shown disliking or harming them? Almost never. The scarcity of exceptions highlights just how taboo such behavior is. These rare moments often serve as moral boundary tests, not cultural critique. Audiences are meant to be uncomfortable when a dog is harmed, reinforcing the idea that canine suffering is uniquely tragic, even when compared to human suffering. 5. The skewed awareness of risk and cost. This media landscape fosters widespread ignorance about the real impact of dogs. Every year in the United States, millions of dog bites occur, many severe enough to require emergency treatment. Yet this reality is downplayed or completely ignored in mainstream storytelling. At the same time, billions of dollars are spent annually on pet food, medicine, and luxury services for dogs, while critical human needs remain unmet. The environmental toll is also substantial, as dogs contribute significantly to waste production, compete with humans for livestock-based food sources, and disrupt wildlife ecosystems. Most concerning of all is the moral misalignment. Society continues to prioritize the comfort and indulgence of non-essential animals over the basic survival needs of homeless, hungry, or sick humans. 6. Toward a more honest cultural narrative. To rectify this imbalance, several interventions are necessary. 1. Narrative diversity. Introduce neutral or critical portrayals of dogs in fiction, emphasizing realistic behaviors, dangers, and costs. 2. Media literacy. Educate audiences about the emotional manipulation of dog imagery used in film and advertising. 3. Policy reform. Encourage public policy to be evidence-based rather than emotion-driven, especially around zoning, licensing, and public safety. 4. Ethical representation. Portray characters who dislike or fear dogs without framing them as evil or broken. Conclusion. The media has manufactured a myth of the idealized dog, one that has warped public understanding, institutional priorities, and emotional reasoning. Dogs are not inherently heroic, intelligent, or essential to human life. They are animals, sometimes benign, sometimes dangerous, always resource-consuming. To build a more rational and just society, we must challenge the glorified narrative and embrace a fuller, more honest portrayal of dogs and their negative impact on our culture. Thank you for listening.